Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now today we're going to be looking at something a little bit special. This is a product by Precision Sim Engineering. If you don't know who Precision Sim Engineering are, well, they are a maker of top quality high-end wheels and they're renowned for their build quality. And Simon from Precision Sim Engineering reached out to me and said, Dave, do you want to test one of our new products? I didn't even know what it was, he didn't say, but of course it's Precision Sim Engineering, so I'm always going to say yes. And what we're going to be looking at today isn't a steering wheel. It's essentially a button box. It's called their Pro Switch panel. But before we get into the video, the necessary disclaimer, I didn't pay for this item. Precision Sim Engineering have sent me this to test. I don't even know if I get to keep it. But they don't get to see this video before it's published, and they've got absolutely no input in relation to what I say. I will also say that I'm not a reviewer of products. That's not what I do, but I am a sim racer, exactly the same as you, and that's the opinion that you're going to get. Now, when I look at a product to test, I look at it as if I'm going to buy it with my own money, and there's only 4 things really that I'm interested in. Firstly, how does it look? If it doesn't look right, I'm not going to buy it. Secondly, what's the build quality like? Thirdly, how does it perform? And finally, is it value for money? So let me give you a look at the device. Here it is. This is the Pro Switch panel. There's the front. So we've got 20 buttons on the front. We've got 2 rotary encoders, which are also buttons. So essentially 22 buttons and 2 rotary encoders. Now, all of these buttons are LED backlit. So with the use of their own software, ChromaWorks or SimHub, well, this comes to life. I'll show you the back. We've got one USB port on the top there. We've got this plate here, which is for mounting. Really easy. I don't think I've ever seen anything so simple and well designed. So firstly, let's talk about looks. Well, it's a button box. It's not really going to set the world on fire unless it's something that you're going to use every single day. And I think it looks absolutely brilliant. It looks really good, especially when you see it with the LEDs on. So nice, simple, sophisticated design. I absolutely love it. Now, we'll move on to build quality. Now, I've read about Precision Sim Engineering online. I've seen their wheels. I've read about the high quality and the build quality. And this is no different, folks. This is no different. It's absolutely perfect. And I don't really talk about packaging, really. But I'm going to show you something. Now, this is the box that it comes in. Just a nice plain box, the Pro Switch panel. Now, I've taken some things out of the box, so it's not complete. But there's some things left in there. And you'll be blown away by how they are packaged. I certainly was. So we've got some stickers. Sent me loads of stickers for the rim. But look at this. Look at the way these bolts and nuts are packaged. Look at that. So I've removed this side here, obviously. I'm using those for the mounting. But look at that. Every nut, every bolt has got their own little compartment, which is perfect. Look at that. And if they're doing that with the packaging, imagine what the internals on that are going to be like. So I don't really talk about packaging too much, but it's definitely worth the mention when it's as good as this. So build quality is off the scale, as you would expect from Precision Sim Engineering. Now, if you just look at the buttons, can you see on the top of the buttons, I don't know if you can see it, there's a very, very small lip on the top. Try and, hopefully you can see it there. That just aids putting those stickers on. You push the stickers up to that lip and you know they're in exactly the right place. That's detail. And we'll talk about mounting it. Now, this has been one of my issues throughout my whole sim racing life, is where to mount button boxes. I've bought little bits of aluminium before. I've bought little 90-degree angle brackets from B&Q or Wheelbase. Nothing's ever worked. But the solution that they've come up with is absolutely perfect. Now, you can see on the back there, this plate that actually comes off. I'll take that off real quick. There, so the plate comes off, and this is your regular Vaser style mount. And all of the holes on that side are all countersunk. Now, this is compatible with Vaser and RAM mounts. Now, I've got a RAM mount here. If you're not familiar what a RAM mount is, well, this is one. You can buy these from Precision Sim Engineering as an extra, or you can source your own. You just literally undo that, and then you've got flexibility on both ends. I'll just slacken that a bit more. You've got flexibility on both ends, so you can mount it wherever you want. Now, the way this attaches, literally on the back of the RAM mount there, you line up the holes, put your screws in there, then that then attaches to the back plate. And because they're countersunk on the other side, bear with us, I need about 4 hands here. And because they're countersunk on that side, that sits nice and flush. That's how that mounts. And then this side would mount to your aluminium profile rig. Really, really good mounting solution. I don't think I've seen anything so clean and tidy as this. So mounting this is an absolute breeze. And as I mentioned, that's always been an issue. As long as I've been sim racing, mounting my button boxes and stream decks and all that kind of stuff, it's always been an issue. This is the best yet. So next up, we'll talk about the lights. I'll give you a little demo, show you what it looks like when it's all illuminated and what you can actually do with it in SimHub. So first of all, I'll show you what it looks like within Windows. It's just a USB game controller. You'll see it on the list there, Pro Switch Panel. So if we click that and click Properties, you'll see that it's just a normal button box, how a button box would usually look. As if we press the buttons, they all illuminate. Same with the rotaries and the buttons on the rotaries as well. So a normal USB game controller. But as you can see at the moment, it's all in darkness now. We want to add a little bit of color to the device. And this is where ChromaWorks comes in. Now this is the software from Precision Sim Engineering, and we can work our magic within here and make it look a little bit more fruity. So if we wanted to pick a color, we'll just say blue, and we can just literally tap on the buttons, whatever one, they're blue. Wanted red, literally just tap on buttons there, they turn red. If we wanted to make them all red, click on apply selected to all, and then they will all turn red. And then if you wanted to, then you can just add a little bit of blue, a little bit of orange, whatever you want to do. You can literally go nuts within this software, save your profile, exit out of the software, and it's all stored on the device. But if you're not using SimHub, then you're not getting the most out of this device. So we've jumped into the simulator, and I've got rid of all the colors off ChromaWorks, so the device is in complete darkness. Now I have mapped all of these buttons to the device, so if I wanted to, we could start the engine, ignition, starter, everything works, toggle the wipers, we've got pass left, pass right, everything works. Turn that off just for now. But I'll load up SimHub and we'll just add a bit of color. So we'll just drag in SimHub and we'll just have a look at the profile. So we'll click devices. You can see there, Precision Sim Engineering Pro Switch Panel. We'll click on that one and we've got the profile loaded that's been provided by Precision Sim Engineering. See, there's lots and lots of things that we've done in here. Now, this profile uses pit macros. Now, if you're not familiar with what those are, I'll just quickly show you. You go into the options, and option again, you can see on the right hand side here, auto text chat. We have set up a few pit macros. So one to add 25 litres of fuel, one to add 50, one to add 75, one to clear the tyres, one to change the tyres. Really easy, and we've mapped those to buttons on there, and the profile takes advantage of pit macros. Now, all in darkness, if we click on the kill LEDs light, we know we've got power to the device. If we press the ignition, then we'll press the starter. There will be a small animation. There we go. So now it shows you a little bit more what we've got to play with. So we've got the volume. We can turn the volume of the sim up and down. Here we've got the pit macros. So if we wanted to add 25 litres of fuel, we'll just press that button. And the pit stop will start. If we wanted to stop fueling for whatever reason, we can just press the stop fuel button. Same with the tyres. If we wanted to start changing the tyres, press that button. That's illuminated because we are changing tyres. But if we wanted to stop for whatever reason, if we only wanted to change one side, press that button and it will stop as soon as it can. And everything else is just illuminated. Just looks a little bit prettier. Now, I will show you that the flags are actually set up to be used on SimHub as well. So I'll just load SimHub back up now. If we go to Open Test Data Editor, and I'll just drag this in here so you can see exactly what we're doing. So if we go down here to flags, well, we'll have a look at the spotter first. So car left, car right, black flag. I don't think white flag's on there, it isn't. Green flag, yellow, and that flashes. And then we've got blue flag as well, which also flashes. So all the flags are included. Perfect. Now, obviously, you don't have to have things set up as it is here. You can go nuts and change things however you want. Now, I maybe wouldn't use the pit macros. It's very, very rare that I would use those. I'd just change the things in the simulator depending on the circumstances of the race. So I have set up another profile. If we've got a profiles manager, click on mine, just turn the ignition off first and we'll just load that in. Now, if I can do this, anybody can. Now, this literally took me about 10 minutes to set this up. Didn't take long at all. So now we'll turn on the LEDs. And now we've got a battery light and a start button. So I've pressed the battery to turn on the ignition. Small animation there just to say that we can start the engine. Start the engine. And there, these are the colours that I've got it set up. So the start button turns to green. We've got the delta in green, got pass left, pass right. And I probably wouldn't have the pit macros on. I would use these buttons for something else. But as you can see, just by spending 10 minutes within SimHub, I've just created something that is a bit more personalised. And obviously, we've still got all the flags as I showed you just a short time ago. So as you can see, this device really comes to life when you add some LEDs. Yes, you can use ChromaWorks and just have the colours static. But if you don't use SimHub, then you're missing out on what this has to offer. So performance-wise, this is absolutely brilliant. It does everything that I want it to do as a button box, but you've also got the added benefits of all the telemetry-based LEDs that come from SimHub. And if I can set up a profile in about 10 or 15 minutes on SimHub, then you can. I will make my profile shareable. If anybody wanted my profile on SimHub, then you're more than welcome to have it. I'll leave a link somewhere in the description for it. And finally, we'll talk about price. Now, nice things don't come cheap. It's just a matter of fact. That's how life is. So for this device, it's £249 plus taxes and shipping. So in the UK, 250 quid plus VAT. So that takes you up to 300 quid. Then you've got shipping on top of that. If you wanted to buy a RAM mount, these are extra and they're about 30 odd quid plus tax from Precision Sim Engineering. You might be able to find these cheaper yourself on Amazon, but these are RAM mounts or a Vaser mount. You don't have to buy those when you buy the kit. You get the kit and you get the mounting plate and obviously all the nuts and bolts and T-nuts and all that kind of stuff. All that comes with the kit. Now, it isn't cheap. It isn't cheap. But I bought a button box, I think it was last year. You might have seen some pictures on social media when I bought it. And I paid over £500 for a button box. Well, it was actually two button boxes. One was vertical and one was horizontal. I paid over £500 for that. And that was the biggest load of tosh ever. I've never spent money so foolishly in my life. This is half the price and a million times better. So would I recommend it? Absolutely 100%. If your pockets are deep enough, then this is probably the only button box you will ever need. You will never have to buy another one. If Precision Sim Engineering want this back, which they might, I'm going to buy one. That's how much I like this product. We'll summarise looks-wise. I think it looks brilliant. even better when the LEDs are all lit up. Build quality, it's precision sim engineering. It's off the scale. I promise you, it is perfect. Performance-wise, works flawlessly within SimHub. All of the buttons work as you would expect. The rotary encoders are brilliant. It performs exceptionally. Value for money. It's a lot of money, but this is something that I would use every single day. I don't know if I've ever had my hands on a more useful, ergonomically sound piece of kit in my life. It is literally that good. So if you want to know more information about this device, I will leave a link down below in the description. Now, this isn't a sales pitch. It doesn't matter to me whether you buy one of these or not. There's no affiliate links. There's no kickbacks. I don't get a penny. They just sent me this item to test and have a look at. So buy one if you want. If you don't want to buy one, that's absolutely fine by me. But I'm just telling you that if you did buy one, you would not be disappointed and you would never have to buy another button box again. I'm calling it a button box because that's essentially what it is. I know it's called the Pro Switch panel, but it's a button box, but a little bit more special. So I want to say a massive thank you to Simon from Precision Sim Engineering for sending me this unit out to test. I really appreciate it. Link down below in the description. This gets the biggest ever thumbs up from me. It's the best ever, most usable, easily mountable, pretty looking, most functional bit of sim racing kit that I have ever used. To paraphrase, brilliant. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great week. See you later. Cheers.